phone book.
Hey, good afternoon. Well, this is much better.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody here better today? Compliments to our sound crew. So this afternoon, we're here to introduce Brock Porter. And up here on the dais, we have President of Baseball Operations, John Daniels, Senior Director of Amateur Scouting, Kip Fagg, Brock, and Brock's representative, Scott Boris. And to get things started, I'll turn it over to Kip.
Thank you all for showing up. Exciting day for the Texas Rangers. Announce the signing of our right-handed pitcher, Brock Porter. I kind of want to introduce his parents. Welcome to the Ranger family. Todd and Michelle, sister Peyton, and girlfriend Annalise. Right? I hope I got that right. And I want to give a shout out to a couple of the scouts. I know that this job's a hard job that we do, traveling around and seeing all these players across the country. And an area guy that covers Michigan, Ohio, Chris Colias. Where's Chris at? Give him a shout. Chris and his wife Emily, outstanding job. This pick wouldn't have got done without Chris. Chris and I had the pleasure of seeing Brock the year before he was eligible at his high school team, watching another player, and got to see him multiple times. So I'm excited about that. And Brian Williams also. Where's Brian at? There you go. Brian's a regional cross-checker for that area. Was instrumental in bringing Brock into the organization also. Good job, B-Dub. Just want to say that you guys can read the allocates of Brock. He's an outstanding pitcher, but I want to talk more about the person, getting around him a little bit, and haven't really been around his family all that much, but I can just tell they raised him right. He's a great kid, kind of what we look for as people with Texas Rangers. Great student, turned down a big scholarship at Clemson to become a Texas Ranger. Just excited to bring him into the fold, and can't say just the person that we got to bring into the Ranger family is very exciting. So congratulations, Brock. I'm going to turn it over to JD here to say a couple things. Might have stole his thunder.
Yeah, you touched on all my points here, so I'll go off cuff a little bit. But I just want to echo really what you said about Brock's family and how our the extension that we are of you, and we take that responsibility very seriously. Had a chance to talk to you all a little bit during this process, and a lot of athletes have great opportunities based on their accolades, their successes, their academics. Brock, no exception, and with Coach Bakich and the Clemson opportunity, we know that choosing us was a big decision for your family, and just want to let you know how seriously we take that responsibility. We look forward to helping develop him on and off the field, and thrilled he's joining us here. Thank you. We appreciate that.
All right, we're going to introduce newest Texas Ranger, Brock Porter. That's yours, Jan. I can't believe Evan doesn't have a question.
So one of the things we've heard about you is that your changeup is pretty exceptionally advanced for somebody your age. I was just curious, where did you learn that changeup, and how did that come about?
Yeah, so I developed it as a young kid. My dad never let me throw a curveball, so I developed the changeup, and it just had a good feel off the start, and just kind of been my pitch ever since, and I've been throwing it my whole life. So, like I said, I couldn't throw a curveball, so went to the changeup.
Was there anybody specifically that you learned it from, or YouTube videos or something?
I think I learned it from just a coach when I was, 6 or 8 years old. Just a circle change, and I've been throwing it ever since, and think I just have that good feel for it, so it works.
What was the first night of the draft like for you, and then the next day when the Rangers came a-calling?
Yeah, it was definitely kind of an emotional roller coaster. I wasn't really expecting, to go in the 4th round, but it turned out to be amazing, and I'm just excited for this opportunity with the Rangers, and they're a great organization, so I'm pumped.
So, Brock, can you just take us through a couple things real quick? Have you stopped classes at Clemson? When did you stop them? Or did you finish that the summer semester?
No, I just stopped once I signed. I'm done now. Yep.
And so you won't be going back to school this fall? You'll just be an instructional league, or how will you handle the fall?
Yeah, I'm going out to Arizona, I think tomorrow, right? And going out there and training for the rest of the fall.
And just the only other question I had is, can you take us through a little bit of your thought process between the idea of going to Clemson versus what came on the table from the Rangers?
Yeah, so going to Clemson, I fell in love with it, and it was a really difficult decision for me and my family as well. But this opportunity here came, and it was definitely hard to let it go. But the Rangers kind of gave me an opportunity that nobody else did, and I'm just excited for that and for the future.
All right, so back on that day one roller coaster, when Scott or whoever called with interest from the Rangers, how low were you and how high did you go?
Yeah, I was set on going to Clemson. I thought, my day's over. It's over. I'm going to Clemson, and ended up getting a call and said, you have an opportunity here, and I got the opportunity with the Rangers, and I'm just psyched and super pumped to be with them and for the future.
Lots of questions. So, Brock, in high school,
Sorry.
is it true that in your games, each batter started with a 1-1 count?
Yeah.
Okay, but I guess on the summer circuit, everything was normal rules. How do you navigate a season like that? What is required of you? I guess you can fall behind pretty quick.
Yeah, so it's my Catholic League rules. It's about half the season. We play 1-1 counts. As a pitcher, I like it because, one, you can strike them out faster, of course, but it teaches you how to throw that first pitch as a strike because you get to 1-2 right away, and teaches you how to kind of put them away earlier and not play around with them. You just go right after them and attack. That's what I like.
I don't know if you've had a chance to be around Kamar, obviously a guy who's got plenty of experience. You had a chance to talk to him or maybe some of the guys in the clubhouse, and what have those interactions been like? Yeah,
I just met Kamar the other day, last week when I was here. He's a great kid. I love him, and I'm excited to work with him, and hopefully, him being a little bit older, he can, help me and develop me a little bit and just tell me through his experience and, help both of us to grow and get better and help this organization any way we can.
I mean, Kip, JD, I don't know who wants to take it, but you guys were pretty fired up when Brock was there in the 4th round. What's special about him as a pitcher that, I guess, led to that excitement?
Well, you line up the board every year, and obviously where we picked in the 1st round was way up there, and Brock was really high on our board to think that not having a 2nd or 3rd round pick and ended up with a talent like Brock and the person, the family, everything that goes into what made him was very special. That's why, we get fired up a lot with our picks, but that one might have been a little extra fired up, and see why I put it out there on I always say what happens in the draft room stays in the draft room, but that one got out a little bit, and that's all right. We were fired up, so I think it shows the raw emotion of it all.
Brock, let's go back to the first day roller coaster again. Was there a point in time on the first day where you thought, okay, my day is done here, and really my draft is done? Was there a particular pick that you thought, okay, I'm going to Clemson?
Yeah, I think just, maybe after the 1st round area-ish, I thought, I was probably just going to Clemson. And
in the 1st round that you...
Not certain spot or anything like that. I just thought, afterwards, it's probably over. There could be a chance, but my head was set towards Clemson.
Yeah, so you just heard you mention that you kind of fell in love with Clemson, and I'm just curious, what was it about the university that you fell in love with that kind of made it a tough decision to come to the Rangers?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm from Michigan, so I don't like playing in the cold. But of course, I play in the cold, so I want to go play down south and play in the ACC. It's a great conference, and the team there is amazing. The facilities are great, coaches are awesome. So I just fell in love with it from that aspect, and the school's good, and I just love the community around it as well.
Was that a difficult conversation with your coach to let him know, like, hey, I think I'm going to take this opportunity?
Yeah, it was pretty difficult, but he understands and he supported me all the way along, and I love him, and he's a great coach, and I think they're going to do great things with that program.
What have you done from a baseball perspective since the end of your high school season?
Yeah, I shut down throwing wise. I started lifting after the season, and kept my lifting going through right now, and just preparing for the fall and training and all that.
So the last time you threw a ball was?
I've just started playing catch last week again, but before that, high school state semifinal game.
Brock, you mentioned your dad, I guess, had some level of influence on you growing up. To what degree did he help you grow as a pitcher? And then who were some of the other people, coaches, whomever, that helped shape who you are as a player?
Yeah, I think he helped me a lot growing up. He, taught me how to throw a ball and just even play baseball, and just taught me the love for the game. And we always spend a lot of time, if it's working out, nutrition, pitching, just anything. He's super into it, and I have a lot of good coaches behind my back. My high school coach, and I work with a pitching coach in Michigan, Kyle Fedorka, and Eric Cressy in Florida. All of them are just great people.
Like on day 2, were you even following the draft, or did you kind of shut the door on the draft? Did you follow it during day 2?
Yeah, I was following it. Just I have friends and everything like that are I was following it. Yeah.
You were monitoring like the MLB.com.
Yeah, I was still in the loop.
Scott, I want to ask you the same question I asked Kip and JD. You've been around a lot of high school kids, a lot of college pitchers. What impresses you about Brock?
Besides being the Texas Rangers arms supplier, I think the idea that you have a player who, when you look at their secondary pitches, when they have a big arm, and you see a perfected secondary pitch, then you kind of wonder how that happened. Because then it tells you a lot about the family dynamic. It tells you about the idea of, it's very easy just to throw hard and overpower people, but the idea about wanting to be more, wanting to search and define yourself further and do those things. And in Brock's case, where we got reports from my staff members about the fact that Bill Cottle and Garrett Gore, who work for our company, who've seen Brock pitch many times, Bill goes, this changeup is like someone who's played professional baseball for 3 seasons. It's just really something that's so advanced. And it says a lot about Brock's psychology. It says a lot about his family, making sure that he's just not focused on one strength, but furthering himself. And so for me, when you see that in an athlete that has the ability to dominate without anything further, because his fastball is so good, but wanting to do that and perfecting it to that level, I think it says a lot about his learning aptitude, and says a lot about his willingness to grow as the competition around him rises. So it was very revealing, and something that usually is a very, very good sign of success going forward.